It might be worth going against Haaland on the Gameweek26 captaincy. He's got a difficult fixture against Newcastle at home this game week. Saka's output hasn't been quite as high, but he's got a nice easy fixture against Bournemouth at home. He's the only midfielder on the shortlist, so he gets an extra point per goal scored and a clean sheet point potential as well. If I was to captain an Arsenal player, it would be him. That's because he's got the advantage of penalties. I think Odegaard's the second best option, and that's because of expected minutes. The last player on the shortlist is Kane. His opponents are alright, he faces Wolves, that's away from home though, and he's the only player on the shortlist that doesn't have the home advantage. Rashford almost made it onto the shortlist, but he faces Liverpool away. I really don't fancy him at Anfield, especially now Van Dijk is back and fit. Okay, so let's dig into the non-penalty stats per 90 minutes for this season. Unsurprisingly, it's Haaland who towers over the other two players on both metrics this season. Despite Kane getting one less point per goal scored and XG registered than Saka, he just about edges second place. So they're the non-penalty stats. All three players on the shortlist are the dedicated penalty takers for their respective clubs. Kane takes direct free kicks, Saka takes indirect free kicks and corners, and Haaland takes neither. Now let's take a look at the probability of each player scoring and assisting. These odds are based on the assumption that each player plays 90 minutes. We'll review the expected minutes later on in the video. Straight away we can see that Kane's odds don't compete, he's got the worst on all fronts. Haaland's got the highest anytime goal scorer odds by 11%, and Saka's got the highest anytime assister odds. Haaland trails by 11%. Haaland's got the highest anytime return odds by 3%, therefore he's got the best chance of returning, but don't forget that Saka gets 5 points per goal scored, therefore he wins on the weighted odds because that more than compensates for that 3%. I'd say that the points projections just about back that up. He's got the highest overall by 0.3 on Fantasy Football Fix. Over on Fantasy Football Scout, he wins by just 0.1 point. By comparing the opposition's defence, we can see he's got the easiest fixture by far. Don't forget he's got the home advantage, whilst Kane has to travel away to Wolves. Not only do his opponents Bournemouth have the worst defensive numbers, they've also got the lowest clean sheet odds. Before we draw up a conclusion, let's carry out a quick risk assessment. Saka and Kane played just under 3 days before this set of fixtures, but I think they've had enough recovery time, and none of the three players played 90 minutes in the last match. If anything, I've not got any concerns over the fitness of any of these three players. They've all got reliable expected minutes. If you've skipped to this point in the video, I advise you go back and have a look at the stats, just in case you conclude with a different player to me, but I believe the optimal captain pick for this game week is Saka. I've got a team selection video breaking down my chip strategy being published on Friday. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it, and so you don't miss any of these best captain videos as well.